All right, getting you pictures from inside Parliament where the oath taking of several MPs in fact took place. The Prime Minister has been sworn in as a Member of Parliament, the leader of the Lok Sabha. This for the third time as the inaugural session of the 18th Lok Sabha kicked off. Newly elected MPs who part of the Council of Ministers took oath during the first sitting of Parliament since the Lok Sabha elections. A resurgent opposition is gearing up to challenge the NDA government on several fronts. These are pictures in fact coming in from Parliament, and the opposition expected to be more combative this time around, focusing on issues such as alleged irregularities in the NEET, UG and NET exams, relocation of statues within the Parliament building complex, the government's decision to appoint 7-term BJP MP Bhartrihari Mahtab as the pro-tem speaker were issues that they took up as early as today, the first day of the 18th Lok Sabha. A look at the ministers today who took oath. Let's do a quick check here of these pictures that have been coming in from Parliament House, where Home Minister Amit Shah took oath in Parliament as Gandhinagar MP amid loud cheers from the BJP. Shah had sealed a record victory in his seat.
मैं अमित अनिल चंद्र शाह जो लोकसभा का सदस्य निर्वाचित हुआ हूं,
As one of the senior-most leaders in the House, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh took oath soon after Prime Minister Modi in Parliament today as the MP from Lucknow.
मैं भारत की प्रभुता और अखंडता अक्षुण्ण रखूंगा तथा जिस पद को
Nitin Gadkari, who took oath a few weeks ago as Minister of Road Transport and Highways, was sworn in today as Lok Sabha MP from Nagpur.
मैं विधि द्वारा स्वापित भारत के संविधान के प्रति सच्ची श्रद्धा और निष्ठा रखूंगा.
Shivraj Singh Chauhan from MP will be one of the big voices in Parliament.
जो लोकसभा का सदस्य निर्वाचित हुआ हूं,
Newly elected MP Kangana Ranaut took oath in Parliament. She is representing Mandi. Also, LJP leader Chirag Paswan took oath in Parliament today.
ईश्वर की शपथ लेती हूँ कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित
Prime Minister Narendra Modi took oath as Lok Sabha MP for the third time along with other MPs. The Prime Minister attacked the opposition over emergency imposed by the Congress Party in the year 1975 on the 25th day of June. He said that June 25th was a blot on democracy and that he can never forget the black days of emergency.
Day one of 18th Lok Sabha in Parliament started on a stormy note. The first shot was fired by the Prime Minister, who invoked the emergency to target the opposition.
कल 25 जून को भारत के लोकतंत्र में जो काला धब्बा लगा था, उसके 50 वर्ष हो रहे हैं. भारत की नई पीढ़ी इस बात को कभी नहीं भूलेगी कि भारत के संविधान को पूरी तरह नकार दिया गया था. संविधान के लीरे लीरा उड़ा दिए गए थे. देश को जेल खाना बना दिया गया था. लोकतंत्र को पूरी तरह दबोच दिया गया था.
Prime Minister vowed that he won't allow a repeat of those black days.
इमरजेंसी के ये 50 साल इस संकल्प के हैं कि हम गौरव के साथ हमारे संविधान की रक्षा करते हुए भारत के लोकतांत्रिक परंपराओं की रक्षा करते हुए देशवासी संकल्प लेंगे कि भारत में फिर कभी कोई ऐसी हिम्मत नहीं करेगा जो 50 साल पहले की गई थी और लोकतंत्र पे काला धब्बा लगा दिया गया था. जो लोग
He also had a few more words for the opposition.
संविधान की गरिमा से समर्पित है.
देश की जनता विपक्ष से अच्छे कदमों की अपेक्षा रखती है। अब तक जो निराशा मिली है, शायद इस 18वीं लोकसभा में विपक्ष देश के सामान्य नागरिकों की विपक्ष के नाते उनकी भूमिका की अपेक्षा करता है, लोकतंत्र की गरिमा को बनाए रखने की अपेक्षा करता है। मैं आशा करता हूं कि विपक्ष उसमें खरा उतरेगा। साथियों, सदन में सामान्य मानवी की अपेक्षा रहती है डिबेट की, विजिलेंस की। लोग सब्सटेंस चाहते हैं, स्लोगन नहीं चाहते हैं।
The opposition has united to corner the Modi government in parliament, declaring that they are the only ones who can save the constitution. From Rahul Gandhi to Akhilesh Yadav, all entered the Lok Sabha with a copy of the constitution in hand.
जो आक्रमण प्रधानमंत्री जी अमित शाह जी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन पर, संविधान पे कर रहे हैं, वो हमारे लिए एक्सेप्टेबल नहीं है, वो हम होने नहीं देंगे। इसीलिए हमने कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ओथ लेते हुए हमने कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन पकड़ा था।
100 बार यही बात बोलेंगे और इमरजेंसी के 50 साल हो रहे, बोले तो तुम इमरजेंसी से विदाउट डिक्लेयरिंग इमरजेंसी यू आर डूइंग इट। इसीलिए हर बार वही बात बोल के आप कितने दिन ऐसा ही अपनी हुकूमत करना चाहते हैं।
The opposition is likely to target the government over issues like NEET and Lok Sabha Speaker election. The stage is set for the Parliament showdown. With Ashutosh Mishra, Piyush Mishra and Aishwarya Paliwal in New Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, so what is evident is that the stage is completely set for a parliament storm here. What are the flashpoints that we are talking about? First of all, to begin with, the appointment of the pro-term speaker, the selection and the choice of the government is what really has angered the opposition. The exam mess, the entire controversy around the NEET exams is the flashpoint too, which the opposition will be raising. They raised it today as well as the education minister took oath. Flashpoint number 3, the Bengal train tragedy, something that the opposition is going to talk about the safety of the railways and where the government is lacking. These are issues all set to be raised. Flashpoint number 4, the stock market controversy. The opposition has collectively raised, saying that there is a scam. Flashpoint number 5, election of the speaker. Again, that is going to be an issue that the opposition will be raising. This on the 26th of June when the election takes place. We have some news just coming in. Let's go straight to these developments. JP Nadda has been appointed as the leader of the House in Rajya Sabha. That's the story we're getting at this hour. Right now, JP Nadda is going to be the leader of the House in Rajya Sabha, essentially. He's going to be leading the charge of the government and be the leader of the House in Rajya Sabha. Aishwarya is getting us more details on that story. Aishwarya, what more can you tell us about the appointment of JP Nadda as the leader of the House in the House for Elders? Was this also expected?
Well, this definitely was expected, Sneha, because, you know, the post was earlier held by Piyush Goyal. Piyush Goyal, who's now become a Lok Sabha member after he won from Maharashtra, from Mumbai. So this post was actually vacant, and a lot of people were speaking about the fact that it could be JP Nadda who will lead from the front, because we have seen how, as the president of the Bharatiya Janata Party, JP Nadda over the past many years has been leading from the front, and this time too the government expects him that after becoming the leader of the opposition in Rajya Sabha, he will make sure that he leads from the front and takes on the opposition in Rajya Sabha. This is something, Sneha, that was expected, and this is a post which was earlier held by Piyush Goyal.
All right. I'm going to thank you for the moment for getting us those details. Aishwarya Paliwal telling us about these developments, given that Piyush Goyal has now been sent to the Lok Sabha. He won the elections. Now, JP Nadda is going to be taking charge of the affairs in Rajya Sabha, and he's been appointed as the leader of Rajya Sabha. Joining me this evening is Salman Soz. He's the national spokesperson of the Congress Party. Radhika Kera is the spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Thank you both for your time. I want to begin by asking Salman Soz that today the Prime Minister spoke about the fact that the opposition must cooperate and the people of the country are watching. He went on to say that, you know, the government is built on numbers in terms of the majority being there, but the country is run when there is consensus, indicating that opposition and government should work together. What are your thoughts, given that today actually began on a bit of a bitter note, didn't it?
Well, the Prime Minister started this new session in some ways by attacking the Congress Party for something that happened 50 years back. And basically the Prime Minister thinks, I think he's mistaken, he thinks that this is the same old time when he had a brute majority in Parliament and a big mandate by the people. I think he should remember that this time not only did the BJP lose its majority in the Lok Sabha, the Prime Minister's own margin came down, victory margin came down from almost, 5 lakh votes to 1,50,000 votes. So he's not the same Prime Minister, and he should be a bit more humble about what the people of the country have said to him during this election, to him, to BJP, to RSS. But at the same time, I think there are important issues in front of the country. And as the opposition, we have not just a right, but also the duty to raise some of these issues. And you actually talked about some of these issues already. We have a massive problem for the young people of this country. When you look at NEET and what has happened there with the NTA, we have these horrific accidents, train accidents that keep happening without any accountability. Who's been brought in as if he's some sort of a champion minister. And by the way, speaking of railways, every day, and you must have seen them yourself, every day you have viral kind of images and videos of trains that are overloaded with people. That means there's not enough capacity, and government has failed on that. We have terrorist attacks in Jammu and Kashmir. We have prices of essentials going up. We have a heat wave crisis. We have, there's a lot going on in the country. And of course, one final thing, and that is that the Prime Minister talked about what happened 50 years back, but he did not talk about the undeclared emergency of the last 10 years. And the opposition this time is going to hold him accountable. We are here to watch over for the people of the country.
Unity of the opposition, Radhika Kheda, on display today, as all of them, in fact, came with the constitution in their hands when they held this protest right before the beginning of this session. How do you look at these developments from outside Parliament today, where all the members of the opposition from the India bloc were united, and they are talking about the fact that why the need to talk about emergency, something that happened 50 years ago. The Congress has gone on to say that there is emergency even now. It's undeclared and it's been done under you.
You know, today marks a historic milestone as Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji took oath as a member of Parliament and took his charge as the Prime Minister of the country in the Sansad Bhavan. And this is history being created today. Today was a historical moment for the country, where after Jawaharlal Nehru ji in independent India, he's the first Prime Minister to come back for a third term. Now, having said that, today has been a very bright day, but tomorrow is going to be a very dark day, because it is going to be the anniversary of the emergency that the Congress party, a very power-hungry Congress party, led by a very power-hungry Srimati Indira Gandhi ji, declared emergency on the country 50 years ago. We cannot forget that. The country will always remember that, because that also paved the way of taking India back mid-10s and 20, maybe 30, 40 years from the progress that we had developed. And
but what about the questions that the opposition wants to ask, including the NEET controversy? Today, in fact, when the Education Minister, Dharmendra Pradhan, was taking oath.
I'm coming to that, Sneha.
These are issues that need to be raised by the opposition as well, and they will be raised as what has been clearly indicated.
They should. No one is stopping them from raising any issues. But they cannot also shy away and deny the fact that their party did declare the emergency. And tomorrow is the anniversary of that. If Rahul Gandhi is going to wave the copy of the Samvidhan in Parliament, I'm glad he carries a copy every day, because he should read it every day. Because let me remind him and the Congress party कि विरासत में उनको emergency मिली है, ये देश नहीं. They have forgotten they are not the owners of the country. But yes, they have to own that it was their party, their leader of the Congress, Srimati Indira Gandhi, the tallest leader, who declared emergency, and that can never be forgotten. So I'm glad Rahul Gandhi ji carries a copy of the Samvidhan with him, because he should read it every day. Coming back to what happened from the exam leak, well, that is something the nation is facing, and the Bharatiya Janata Party, our government, Modi ji's government, India government, is absolutely, we are going to make sure that justice is served to every student, and those people who are behind this are given the strictest of punishment, so that nobody, I repeat myself, sir, nobody repeats this again in the future. There have been problems in the system. We were given a system that for 54 years, there were continuous exam paper leaks. We got a new system. There are some loopholes in that, and we're going to solve those and ensure that our education system has no flaws. There are some issues, and we have accepted that, and we are working on it, and we have changed the DG. We are coming out with ways how to sort it out. It is taking a little time, but we have to ensure that it's not a short-term
but the government undoubtedly has got some answering to do. You know, Radhika Kheda,
as far as the appointment, we never run.
Yes. Okay, good.
We are not shying away
I
from
just
that.
also want to tell you, ask you this, what the opposition had been saying, and that's one of the reasons why they in fact carried the constitution. They have essentially also spoken about the fact that the appointment of the pro-term speaker has been unfair. Salman Soz, what do you have to say about this? The government says that the appointment is going to be on the basis of the senior most MP, essentially by the number of terms that he served in parliament, by the number of victories in Lok Sabha election after Lok Sabha election, and that has to be in a row. The opposition has been saying that, the rule book doesn't talk about this being in a row. In that sense, K. Suresh is a more senior MP. Salman Soz.
Well, it is indisputable that K. Suresh is the senior most MP in the Lok Sabha. Nobody can dispute that, not the Prime Minister, not the BJP. Nobody can dispute that. But, instead of, they'll make these technical arguments, but the real issue is the following, and that is what the people of the country should see. Does this look like a BJP that was humbled by the electorate, who were given a message that they should be less arrogant and more humble? Is this what they have learned? They haven't learned this. If they had, then they would have said, you know what? We want to get Parliament onto a good, positive track. We will maybe have an olive branch to the opposition by appointing K. Suresh as the pro-tem speaker. It would not make any major difference to the BJP, but they did not do that because they think in the same arrogant way that led to their losses in the Lok Sabha election. By the way, another opportunity for them to actually take the opposition on, along would be when they removed statues of Gandhi ji and B.R. Ambedkar. And, without consulting the opposition. Remember that Parliament does not belong to the government, does not belong to any political party. It belongs to Parliament. And anything that happens there, especially those things that affect the people of this country, the opposition and the government and the ruling party, they must work together. But they did not do that.
Let me bring in Radhika Kheda. More humility is what the Congress is saying. Why can't there be more humility? Why can't the government extend an olive branch of sorts to the opposition? Why was that gesture missing? Radhika Kheda.
I'm glad the spokesperson of the Congress realizes that the Parliament does not belong to a particular party, it belongs to the country. I wish his leaders had also realized the same when the new Parliament was being inaugurated, and they would have been a part of it. But they refused and they boycotted and banned and wore black clothes. Well, the spokespersons take a separate line and the leaders take a separate line. I'm sure, Mr. Soz, you will be able to explain that to your leaders. Coming back, when we were talking here about the pro-term speaker, I am sure Mr. Soz also remembers that when an 8-term member, Mr. Balasaheb Vikhe Patil, was appointed the pro-term speaker, the 9-term MP, Mr. George Fernandes, was ignored. Even PM Syed and Giridhar Gamangji for the post of pro-term speakers were ignored by the Congress on earlier occasions. So their arguments on the pro-term speaker are completely unfounded and they lack merit. So they should stop playing this politics. They should come to the reality. The reality is that the country has again for the 3rd time rejected them. They should also be humbled by this, that 3 times in a row the country has rejected them even after the Indian Alliance got together. And it has taken 10 years for the Congress party only to increase 50 seats. Please wake up and smell the coffee beans. The country has rejected you time and again. It is because
Okay, what
of these
does one
things.
expect,
You need to...
Salman Soz, as far as Parliament is concerned, because the Prime Minister did say today that the people of the country want to see business being done on the floor of the House. They want to see the opposition and the government work together. What does one expect? Because, a section of the opposition have also indicated that they are battle ready, so to speak. So is that the mood really of the opposition, that they are battle ready?
Look, the parliament should function in the interest of the people of this country. There is no doubt about that. At the same time, I think the BJP has to let go of this attitude that it will run parliament as it pleases. That is not going to happen in this parliament, because that is not what the mandate of the people of the country is. I know Radhika, who was just until recently in the Congress party, saying the exact opposite of what she's saying today. Basically, she can say whatever she wants about the BJP. She can say whatever she wants about the opposition. But the people of the country have said the following. They've told the BJP that you cannot run the country the way you used to. And the Prime Minister is basically, he and maybe people who are propping him up are basically saying, you've got to behave a certain way. You've got to look at, very authoritative. You've got to look as the same old Modi that you were. But he's not. He's not the same old Modi. He's a morally and politically defeated Modi. Okay, he's a morally and politically defeated Prime Minister. So now if he really cares for the people of the country, then the issues that we are raising, those are the issues that need to be discussed.
Okay, we certainly hope that these will be the issues and we'll get the platform and an opportunity to discuss all of these problems. You mentioned heat wave, Salman Soz. You also spoke about the fact that there have been so many railway accidents. We've been reporting on these issues, including the NEET controversy and the future of students. Yes, Manipur as well. The opposition has been raising this for many, many months together. I'm afraid we're running out of time. I'm going to thank you both for joining us, Radhika Khera and Salman Soz, with your perspective on the developments from today as far as the 18th Lok Sabha, the first day of this session, is concerned. We have some news just coming in. Let's go straight to these developments. Name of the next Lok Sabha Speaker candidate from the NDA to be announced tomorrow. The candidate will have to file nomination papers by 12 is what we've been given to understand. These are developments from Parliament. As far as the appointment of the Speaker is concerned, the NDA is going to put forward their Speaker candidate's name, and that is going to be announced as early as tomorrow. The candidate will be filing the nomination papers at 12 in the afternoon. Piyush has more details on that. Piyush, and then after tomorrow, what is it that one expects as far as the election is concerned? 26th is the day of the election. What is it that you're picking up?
Well, certainly 26th is the day when the election of Lok Sabha Speaker to take place. But before that, the candidate of NDA will be announced by 12 p.m. tomorrow. What we are learning is that the name has already been finalized by the top leadership by the NDA government, and by tomorrow we will see the name also being announced by NDA. Most likely the papers will be filed by 12 p.m. tomorrow, and then we will see the election of the Lok Sabha Speaker to take place day after tomorrow. As far as the election of a Deputy Speaker is concerned, as of now, no consensus has so far been built. Still, these deliberations are going on between all the NDA allies. It is very much clear that the NDA Speaker will be from BJP, and as far as the Deputy Speaker is concerned, we can expect that to be from the NDA, or he or she could either be from TDP, JDU, or from any other party of NDA. But as far as the NDA Speaker is concerned, that has almost been finalized, and by 12 p.m. we will also know the name of that particular candidate.
All right, Piyush, I'm going to thank you for the moment for getting us up to speed with that. The name of the candidate from the NDA is going to be announced tomorrow, is what Piyush is telling us as far as the appointment of the Speaker here is concerned.